She's one of the most amazing, giving, generous, contribution-focused agents that I know in the industry. She's a moderator with the LCA. She obviously is helpful and moderates our StreetText group as well. And she's done so phenomenally well, over 50 deals with StreetText since starting. I think you said in May of 2020. Is that correct, Janki?
March of 2020.
March, forgive me, March. And so with that said, tell us a little bit about your story, Janki. Take us back to the beginning, as you got started in real estate, and then, essentially how you started tasting success, and then really picking up from there into your intro of StreetText.
You are so nice, Marcus. I keep calling you Curtis this morning. I don't know why. I think Curtis is in my mind right now with the ISA with the ISA course, which was amazing, a conversation last week. But thank you guys for having me, especially StreetText. You guys are amazing. So how did I start my journey into real estate? Way back when. I'm going to make it very quick. Excuse me. I'm going to make it very quick on that. But I just want to tell you guys that it wasn't easy. All right. Number one, who says real estate is easy? Who says any sales business is easy? No, it's not. We got to hustle. We got to put it out there. I lost everything in 2010, and I still get choked up and teared up because of the foreclosure in the REO markets. I'm sure everyone knows, if you've been long enough here in this industry, that's when everything tanked down. We lost almost $500,000 to $600,000 on our 401k. We lost our home in New Jersey because it went to foreclosure, and my husband lost his job. Okay. And of course, real estate was, if you don't know the REO world, you don't have any business, right? That is the world I'm coming from. And lost everything. I had $1,500 to my name, you guys, $1,500. So of course I called my dad and I said, Dad, I am heading back home. And he says, of course, come on in. Our doors are open for you. And like I said, long story short, we drove all the way cross country with American Eskimo, my two little kids, 5 and 7, and my husband and I. We stayed at motels. We had to take that $1,500 and stretch it out through a week. Plus, when we came here, of course, we had my parents' home. I didn't have to worry about rent or anything. But yet, being a 36 or something year old person, or 46 and 42, I think 42, I don't remember my age, but being at that age level and coming back home, that was, first of all, very embarrassing for me as a person, as a mom, as a wife. It took a toll on me mentally, but I wasn't going to let that shut me down. Came here, and in my culture, our parents give away a lot of gold to their daughters. Well, I had to sell all of that too, right? So it wasn't easy, like I said, selling all of what was inherited and given to me from my grandmother, and it was given to me from my mom, and all of that materialistic things I had to sell just to put food on the table, you guys. Okay, so that was a big wake-up call for me. Of course, like I said, losing my home, coming here with $1,500. And while driving cross country, I had a lot of time to myself. And I listened to a lot of masterminds and a lot of other realtors' success stories. And I wasn't going to let that get me down. But yet I was listening to that to get me the strength to continue. Do I do a 9 to 5 job, or do I still stick into real estate? That was the question. I came here, got my real estate license, of course. I had an option of working with my brother's business, and I woke up at 6 a.m. till, I would say, 8 p.m. I was working as a receptionist, helping him in his business. And I said, this is not what I want to do. This is not who I am. Remember, I'm a high D personality. I'm not someone that'll take orders from someone, yet I want to learn. I'm a learning mindset type of person. So I didn't enjoy that. And so my husband and I had a conversation. He said, you do what you want to do, in the sense, if you love real estate, go for it. Of course, he got a job and got my license October of 2010, I believe it was. And I Didn't know anyone in California, you guys. I didn't know anyone here. I went to the said real estate company, top producers didn't want to help me. I even had top producers say to me, even if you give us 50% of your commission to join our team, we do not want you. Why they do not want me, I had no idea. All right. I was ready to give 50% as a buyer's agent to be a part of a team, yet I got rejected. I knocked at least 3 to 4 top producers' doors here, right here in Pleasanton. And eventually, one of the producers said, listen, you can come to my office and you can stamp and mail out 1,000 letters. And I want you to prove to me that you deserve this job. I want you to do the 1,000 letters in one day. In one day, you guys, stuffing, mailing, stamping, sealing, all of that. All right. Well, I got to 850 and I did it. 850. All right. The reason why I'm sharing all this with you guys is that it was hard work getting to where I was here in California. Fast forward over to 15 years, I'm still in a stuck mentality to where do I get the leads from and how do I continue lead generating? How do I continue building the momentum and have at least 2 to 3 transactions a month? I stumbled upon StreetText. Didn't believe it. Trust me, I did not. My heart was totally against StreetText. I was like, these are online leads. These are not working for me. What am I doing? I'm just calling them and I'm getting wrong numbers, bad numbers, wrong email addresses, wrong street addresses. How am I supposed to work? Why am I paying so much money to a company where the leads are not good? Got in touch with Marcus. And Marcus was the one who said, Janki, you need to attend these masterminds. And I'm like, no, I'm too good for that. I'm too good for that. I don't want to hear other people's success stories. Remember, I'm a high D. I don't like to listen to anyone's success stories. I want to be the success, right? And something clicked in my head and said, no, I need to be here. I need to be here at the mastermind and learn from others. Well, I came, I shut up, I changed my mindset. And that's where it all started. I changed this and I started focusing on what is important to me and my business and what can I come from, where can I come from in terms of contribution and building the relationship. I joined LCA, which is Lab Code Agents. I joined different groups, right? Now, remember when I joined StreetText, it was March of 2020, which was right in the beginning of COVID, right? And I kept on calling these leads over and over. I think someone just mentioned that you keep on calling. I think Ira said that. Keep dialing the same clients over and over again. You're not going to get any results, And then I started saying, okay, let me build a system out to where it's not only about calling, it's about doing different things like mailers, sending them, homes that they're looking for. Don't just bombard them with calling. That's when, and again, affirmations for me, they're very important. Even today, I do them every single day, at least 3 times a day. I do my affirmations. I do my mindset shift. When I'm dialing, when my ISAs are dialing, the first thing we talk about is what is your affirmation for the day? So there's a lot that went into this, Marcus. But more than anything, it was about first thing, mindset. And that's when everything opened up for me.
So take us into a little bit of your experience in the beginning of StreetText, figuring all out, using the what's your home really worth ad, or if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it ad, moving into what you found success most recently in some of your buyer ads to actually produce a lot of seller leads. How did you come across these objections and these obstacles where you at first you couldn't quite figure it out, and then what changed and where did the success start happening, and then how did you kind of slowly start building this team of ISAs and VAs and social media coordinators? Like, take us through that type of transformation.
So like I said, in the beginning, March to, I would say March, April I'm like, I'm done. I'm not calling these people. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. It was rejection after rejection. And my coach taught me that every no is closer to a yes, right? Every time you get a no, it's closer to a yes. That didn't work for me because I wanted results instantly. Remember, online leads is not instant. It takes time to massage and takes time to get to know them. It takes time to build that relationship, which I didn't care for time. I don't have patience. Simple. I don't have the patience, but yet it was about the mindset shift, right? I changed my mind. The way I look at things look at me that way, right? I changed my mindset, and the way you look at things look at you accordingly. So again, what are you doing up here to make it really happen? It's all about you. It's not about the lead, you guys. It's not about, oh, this lead is very old and it's a bad lead, or this lead is not working out for me because, oh, this system is not working out for me. I need to change my system. No, again, it's not about the system. It's about you. It's about your mindset. I will keep saying that. What are you doing in the morning when you wake up? Are you doing your affirmations? Are you doing, and I also add meditation to it, which I fell off the planet on doing that recently. And we had a conversation, my husband and I, it's like, you're not doing self-care. You're not doing your meditation. What's up with that, right? So I started this morning again. And believe me, it does make a huge difference on how you see things. So shifting forward to, I was also talking to one of my coaches the other day to what happened and how did I change my mindset, Curtis, in the sense, Marcus, oh my goodness, Marcus, how did I change my mindset into really focusing on, the leads that are here with me? And way back in March and April, I was not successful. I think April was the first buyer's lead that I got. And the script that I used for this buyer was that, hey, I see that you came into, you took a look at my website. I was just wondering, are you in the market to buy a home? And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to say, no, I'm not. I'm not in the market. I was just browsing. And I said, okay, no problem. You know what I'm going to do? I see that you were looking for close to $1 million. Your price point is close to $1 million. Here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to put you on a safe search. And I have Chime, you guys. So Chime is where all my information is, all my leads are, all my different pipelines, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I just put them on a drip, like on a safe search plan, and left them alone. I didn't bother them. Fast forward 2 weeks later, that's when things started happening, and I'm like, oh, they're coming back. They're looking at properties. What I'm sending them, they're actually watching and they're clicking on the properties. Well, I don't want that to go to waste. So guess what? I picked up the phone and I said, I see that you're looking at properties in Milpitas for 1.2 million. Let me ask you this. Do you know what's going on with the market at the moment? Again, coming from contribution, I'm not asking for the sale. I'm not asking for the appointment yet, right? I'm coming from contribution. Just wanted to give you some market update. Just wanted to come from contribution. Just wanted to, share with you some, this is what I start with. I just want to share market knowledge with you. I want to guide you and I want to help you get to your goal. If home buying is in the near future, your goal. And 9 out of 10 times they say, well, it is in my near future, in about 3 to 6 months. Okay, great. I got them to talk to me, right? I got a response from them. So slowly I started writing down my scripts. And that's when, come July, I started seeing results. Like in April, I started seeing results, but come July, I started seeing the closings happening. And I said, okay, now I need to sit down and write down my scripts, which right here, this is my Bible, wrote down all my scripts, wrote down everything right here. And everything else was history after that, Marcus. What I want to say is I didn't focus much on the ads as much, Marcus, but I remember you and I connecting every now and then and saying, okay, what's working for me, what's not. If you look at my ads, I don't focus on that because I'm not too focused on, as long as I get the leads, my director of ops now takes care of it.
And let's talk about that real quickly so people know what you're running. You've got Apartment Homes with main floor master list, which is $1,700 spent on that. And you've let it run since December 23rd of 2020 at $9 a day. You have Another one where you're running $20 a day, it's Fremont Homes List. See all available homes in Fremont. That's probably one of your best producing ones. You've spent over $5,000 on that at $20 a day. Had to have it running since November 26th of 2020. You have another one from May of 2020 running. That is See All Available Homes with a main floor master in Fremont. That's at 9. And then you've kind of played along with a little bit of the home value ads, but you don't seem to run those as consistently as your buyer ads, which is interesting to me. I've seen a couple of them stay on a little bit longer, $1,200 spent here. You're in NorCal, you're spending $12 an email on average on this one. But you don't play the game of A/B split testing every 2 days to try to find the best ad performance, which is something I see a lot of people spend too much time on and attention on. And that's all they do is they chase the ad performance instead of chase the lead conversion. So walk me through that, because if we're talking 50 plus deals in this time, what percentage are sellers? What percentage are buyers? And how are you getting that conversation?
So most of my sales come from buyer ads. Okay, believe it or not, they come from buyer ads. And why do I say that? Is because every buyer that we've had to deal with, they have had a townhome to sell, or a single family to sell, or even an investment property to sell, right? And that's where these counts started getting higher and higher, is because are you going to keep your Are you going to keep your townhome? Let me tell you what your townhome could possibly sell for in this hot market, right? People are after what will get the maximum return of value, right? Everyone wants to know what is the net profit that I will gain from selling my townhome. And some had tri-level, some had single level, some had 2-level townhomes, some had single family homes, which are 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Right? That's not popular here. 3-bedroom, 2 baths is the ideal. So what we did is we said, okay, we need to come up with a plan to where I would focus on the buy side, and I would say, okay, now that you want to buy a home, are you pre-approved to buy a home? You're only looking at $1 million home right now. How about if you were to sell your townhome, and here are the numbers, what is the net profit that's going to be on your townhome would be X amount. What if we sold your townhome and increased your price point here to 1.2 million? And they were like, oh, I get more of a home, more square footage of a home, but I pay less. In the long run, what will happen is that your interest rate is low. Right? It's only 2% or 2.5%. So guess what? The 200,000 extra that they're bringing to the table, or 1.2 they went up to, really doesn't make a huge difference, because guess what? They're looking at the interest rate and their monthly mortgage payment. They're not looking at the 1.2. So it's like talking to them in numbers. And a lot of my clients are engineers here. So if you share numbers with them, if you share data with them, and you share the fact that, okay, if you are paying 1.2, but if you can stretch up to 1.3 and sell your current townhome, how awesome would it be, instead of getting a 1,400 square foot home, get an 1,800 square foot home, a little bit bigger, right? You got to go into their mind and try to figure out what is it that they're after. For $1 million, you're not going to find a 1,500 square foot home here. It's going to be very hard to find that 1,500, 1,800 square feet home. So for them, in the long run, that extra 300,000 was well spent, because they're buying in a neighborhood that already has that equity built up for them, right? The close comps in those areas. So that's what was working for me on the buy side. So I kept that going.
Janki, a question from Jeff is, at what point did you realize that you could not handle this as an individual? Because what you're speaking about right now is knowledge that only you would have. How would you train your ISAs and VAs to pre-qualify these leads and begin to have these conversations that you're having with them?
Okay, so introduction to one of my very close friends, Tristan Almada. I'm sure you guys know him. I started going into LCA a lot and started saying, okay, I don't have time to call 50 leads or 100 leads repeatedly, what more systems can I add to this? And that's when I started writing my course out. Like, okay, well, this is working for me. If I send them a letter, if I send them a buyer letter saying, hey, I have a buyer looking in your neighborhood. Now, remember, at that time, inventory was very tight, right? So I had to come up with creative ways of doing this. And so while I am doing that and mailing in-house here, I was losing track of my leads. And that's when I said, okay, you know what? I need a better system. In fact, I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me about automation, my smart plans, what is my CRM that I'm using, right? And at that time, I did not have Chime, you guys. At that time, I was just basically using, I think it was Property Minder, which was a local, and KV Core, to be honest with you. And I didn't like KV Core because I didn't, again, want to learn the bells and whistles of everything. So I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Now that I cannot dial and cannot do the market, the mailings, and, I cannot do so much so because I also have to go out and show properties, I got to divide and conquer. That's when I talked to my friend Tristan. I said, okay, how do I do this? How do I divide and conquer? Because now I'm drowning. I'm beginning to drown because my main focus is not working in your business. It's working on your business. So I'm going out there showing properties. I'm going pending, yet I'm working in my business. So what do I do? How do I do this? And that's when he introduced me to obviously VirtueDesk. And even then, when I went to VirtueDesk, I hired a couple of ISAs, which again, I was not happy with the conversations they were having. They were not able to set the phone appointments as vigorously as I wanted them to, and as much as I did. I set up phone appointments for myself, and then I attended the phone appointments. I talked about the market, and then I sent them to the get pre-approval. So I was doing everything. And so I said, okay, when an ISA comes, what are they going to do? And what is the conversation that I see them having? And what I did is I just copied and pasted, and I taught them all the scripts. And one of my ISAs has been with me a very long time, from the beginning, in fact. And she is right now, I think I just showed it to Marcus earlier, actually setting my phone appointments about at least 3 to 5 phone appointments a day.
Wow. Day. So, and I think here's the objection I'm going to hear from people is like, I want someone local. I want someone that's not international. Yet I love that the fact that the ISAs you are using actually out of the Philippines.
Yeah. I mean, listen, guys, it doesn't matter. Local, international, for me, it didn't matter. I just needed a person to help me. And the more and more I focused on, the more and more pickier you get, the more and more tougher it's going to be, simply put. And I didn't have time to be picky about this. So what I did is I went ahead and I worked on the mailers, and I worked on showing properties, and doing the CMAs, and going on the listing appointments for these clients. That's what my focus was, is to get that, get going on the business that's coming in, not focusing on the ISA, or not focusing on the leverage side of it, right? And once 2-3 months passed, I said, oh my God, I'm not doing anything now. What the heck? Obviously, you don't have any business, because guess what? You closed all those deals. You need someone to continue giving those deals to you, right? You need someone to set those phone appointments so you don't have a dead month. And so what I did was, again, hire these ISAs, and then I heard the conversations, because they're always recorded. I have Ring Central, and so we recorded them, and I sat with them every single day. In fact, we did Zooms, and every single day, from 9 to 9:30, or they used to come from 11. So we did 11 to 11:15 script and role play time. Let's go. Affirmations. Let's go. We use WhatsApp, and on WhatsApp, every morning, my team has to send me an affirmation for that day. Okay. That's the first thing. Affirmation, mindset. And if they have a challenge, if they have some issues with their kids or whatever, I tell them, take time out, go. Again, you're focusing on my business. I want all the good juju, all the good energy. For me, mindset is very important. Again, go back to basics. So they are setting, in fact, while I'm talking to you, she's sending me appointments. Here we go. So, and I give them, these are the appointments that she just, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are the appointments that she just set for me. All right, just now in the morning. So she's done with two. She's already set 3 appointments. That's just one.
So Janki, and I think another thing that I really like that I learned from talking to you this morning was that these are coming from 510 area codes, which is your local area code. It's not coming from another number where they wouldn't recognize. So talk us through how to get that. How do you train someone internationally yet give them the opportunity to call from a local area code?
So I use Ring Central. Now, I guess my director of ops would have more knowledge about this, Marcus, but we chose a 510 number, right? And, nobody needs to know they're not local. You got to train them. They don't have accents. Okay. None of my ISAs have accents. They are trained. And if they do have an accent, I teach them how to verbalize and how to talk to them in a normal voice with not having that heavy accent. And we practice, right? Practice makes perfect. You know that. And we practice. We used to practice every single day. Now my director of ops does that. She's the one who does the practicing with them. She's the one who does the scripts and role play with them. I just come in once a week, make sure that everything is kosher, and I make sure that they are. And what I'll do is I'll call a meeting right away. If I'm bored, I'll call a meeting and say, all right, guys, 5 minutes. I want to see you. Let's go. And they're like, oh God, here she goes again. She's going to quiz us. And I do, just the way I was quizzed by my coach years ago. That's exactly what I do. I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just used his dialogue like, hey, I'm calling for 123 Main Street. Or now that we get inbound calls from clients, that's what I say. Hey, I'm calling for 123 Main Street. What can you tell me about this home? Or if they're dialing out, when they're dialing out to me, I am the client and they're the ISA. I do a role play right there. So it's putting them on the spot, doing test Zooms with them every now and then, but they'll never know that I'm doing a test, which, I might just do it this afternoon again with them, right? Keeping them on their toes with the mindset as well as what they're saying to your clients. For me, it's very important what they say, how they say, when they say, and when to set that appointment, when to ask for that appointment. It's very important when you listen to their conversation. Are they on point with when they should say what and how they should say it? What is their tonality like? I think all of that is what I've taught them so far. And that's why we're getting 3 to 5 appointments a day from one ISA. Now we have 2 ISAs and we're going to add another one.
Wait, did you just say 3 to 5 appointments a day?
Yeah, you just saw it, right?
Okay, so let's follow up on that because I'm getting a bunch of people asking questions. Janki, what automation follow-ups do you have on StreetText or outside of StreetText?
Outside of StreetText, Chime.
Okay.
I don't do anything with StreetText. I don't mess around with it. Once a week, maybe. If my director of ops, Lorraine, has time, she'll go in and she'll look at the ads and she'll say, okay, this is performing, this is not performing. Let's do this, let's do that. Done. We don't spend too much time there. What we do in Chime is we make sure that everyone is on a smart plan. We readjust our smart plan according to the market data. And when we do have new listings that come up, we bombard our clients, not bombard, I shouldn't say that, but we send the smart plan and the new listing to our clients in the price point that they were looking for. If that's the same match, we send it to that particular database, so to speak. So we have in our Chime database, we have it categorized: opportunities, bad leads, cold leads, appointments set, showing appointments request, and there's different pipelines.
Reflection, data, taking notes. I'm just going to go rapid fire. You don't have to shoot long, elaborate answers, just so everybody kind of has an idea. And we'll carry it on to a future office hour and or even course with you. But they said, would you share your script with us? I think that'd be really hard to share your script because you probably have a lot of scripts.
Yeah, we have a lot of scripts, and depending on what specific scripts, again, that obviously we can do during office hours as well, Marcus.
How did you find an ISA?
Tristan, LCA, Lab Code Agents. If you're not a part of it, I'd highly recommend you to be a part of that Facebook group.
How many hours a week do they work?
11 to 7 every single day, 6 days a week.
Wow. Can I ask what you pay for that?
I believe what I know is I have a special rate with Virtual Desk because I'm their, I'm their moderator as well.
Okay. So these appointments your ISAs are setting, are they buyer appointments or seller appointments or both?
Both. Now it's both because Homebot is engaged also. So they're calling all the Homebot leads. They're sending CMAs to the Homebot leads. And then the one-page CMA, which is all in my course as well, that one-page CMA is sent out without them even asking for it. And we start the communication there. We follow up with them. Hey, I just wanted to make sure that you received a one-page CMA. I would say about 48 hours later. And then if they have a phone number, our ISA dials say, hey, just wanted to let you know market conditions are amazing. It's low inventory. When it was low inventory, I'd love to see if, I'd love to set a phone appointment with you so Janki can go into more details about what you can possibly get for your home.
How many StreetText ads do you have going at one time, Janki? And what is the average ad spend? And I think you told me this morning you spend close to $1,000 a month on Facebook.
Yes. So $900 every 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wait, $900 every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay, so you're spending $1,800 a month,
yeah,
on ads. Mm-hmm. So put that in perspective for everybody here who's running their $10 ad 30 days.
So just to let you guys know, I was on vacation in San Diego for a couple of days. We went pending on a StreetText. Two pendings on a StreetText. One was at 1.3 and the other one was at 1.2. Again, I'm only spending $1,800, roughly $1,800 every month.
Okay. Ads. So, but RingCentral doesn't have a way for the international ISA to call. So what are you using? Someone asked.
No, we use a soft phone. We use RingCentral. That's what we use. They're the ones who dial out for all our appointments.
Okay. What was your total volume in each year? So if you're doing 50 total from starting StreetText, how many more deals are you doing outside of StreetText on top of that?
We have Ylopo too. So with Ylopo, StreetText, those are the only two that I have. I have no idea in terms of numbers. I wish I knew. I should know my numbers. But I think year to date, we're almost now, remember, it's 2020 up to now is 50 with StreetText. So if I were to do January 2021 to now, I don't know the numbers for StreetText and for Ylopo, and I can share that with you on our Facebook group as soon as I get those numbers.
So it sounds like buyer ads will get you listings.
Yes, that's what worked for me. I don't do specific listing ads or, seller ads, so to speak. A lot of my ads are buyer ads. And like I said, I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to continue focusing on that because I know it's working. Why mess with the thing that's working so well for me, right? I leave it alone. I don't do the A/B split test. And and Marcus, that I don't mess around with any of my ads. I leave it alone. And there are times when Marcus will say, hey, Janki, this is not working. Or, hey, this is when I talk to Ira, when I go to the custom ad class or something, once in a while, they'll give me a little bit of feedback. Other than that, I leave it alone.
So, okay, this is a lot of good stuff. Lisa says this is a lot less than what I would used to spend with Zillow. Someone asked, do you do BombBomb videos?
Yeah, BombBomb videos. I don't do BombBomb videos, and you have no idea how much my social media team is after me on BombBomb. I know, July, you're here. They really want me to focus on doing videos, and I just, I don't know why. I have to be honest with you. I'm guilty. I don't do BombBomb. I don't do YouTube. In fact, what they do is they record these kind of masterminds and panels that I'm on, and then they brush it up a little bit and put it on my YouTube channel. But other than that, I don't do as many videos as I should be doing.
Your strengths is obviously working.
Yeah.
I think this would be the time right now for anybody just to unmute themselves instead of writing in the chat. Just, ask Janki the questions you want to hear or to get answered.
All right, Janki, I've been waiting for this. You and I have thoughts. And I'm definitely going to buy your course. We are ramping things up over here. Super excited about it. And so here's my question for you, because we are ramping things up. and bringing on, also more agents and your team. What is you talk about your team. I love the fact that you have a team because I am kind of that type A personality. I want to take things myself, but I'm trying to get better at doing what you're doing. And you are kind of the person I am really looking up to. What does your team exactly consist of? Because I know you have the ISA, because you've talked about your ISA. Now you just talked about your social media team. I'm like, dang, she's got a social media team too. So what does your team consist of?
I want to write this down, okay? So I have 2 ISAs right now. And Lorraine, I know you're here, my director of ops. If you need to jump in, please do. So 2 ISAs, 2 social media. And then I have 2 buyer coordinators. 2 buyer coordinators. We have an assistant and a director, 1 assistant and a director of ops.
Wait, talk to me about director of ops, because I'm curious. What's the director of ops handle?
Director of ops, my main person. Oh my God, my right hand. I couldn't do anything without her. She handles and oversees every person on the admin team. So she is the one who will play the red light, green light. She's the one who handles all my accounting. She's the one who handles, what does she not handle, Marcus? She's an A personality just like me, and she'll tell me to shut up, or she'll tell me, get your ass in gear and start dialing, or stop fooling around and let's go focus on your business instead of in your business. And if I'm in the business and if I'm supposed to be on vacation and I start texting, she will make sure that I'm kicked out of everything. So that is my right hand. She's my golden right hand, and I could not do anything without her. My social media manager is here as well. July is here, and he is the one who handles all my social media postings. He's the one who handles all my, my ads, my engagement, how to increase my engagement on our social media platforms. And when we have our end of week meeting, I see the results. And if there's issues with those results, we talk about it, right? What happened here? How come the engagement went down? What can we do to increase the engagement and sort of things? My other social media person is the one who handles my YouTube videos. And she's the one who's always on my ass, like video, bam, let's go, And I'm sitting down with her tomorrow to do a Zoom just like this and create some more videos. So and we're adding 1 more ISA. So that's what we have so far.
Hey, Janki, got a question for you. So I'm pretty new to StreetText, and I've run some seller ads, and we got some success in terms of leads, but we're following up, and I'm dealing with Logan on that. But I've started thinking about running the buyer ads. So of late, I check the StreetText automations on the buyer ads, and it's virtually nothing. So I started out writing out some follow-up for automations today. Actually, I've been working on this for a couple of days. I actually clicked on 5 agents in the Toronto area and see what kind of follow-up they're doing with it, and took note of it. And I'm going to combine all of them, try to make some sort of automations out of it. What kind of follow-up do you have with the buyer agents aside from phone calls?
Aside from phone calls, my buyer's agent, it's all about owning the business, right? I make sure that they understand the mindset of owning the business. This is your business. You need to follow up on a regular basis. I don't babysit them. I don't check on my buyer's agents every single day. They should know if their goal, and I'm very much goal-oriented, right? So my follow-ups with my buyer's agent, if that's your question, or is it the question that?
No, it's the follow-up, the buyer, not the buyer agent, the buyer's follow-up.
Okay, so how do I follow up with my buyers?
Right.
Oh, that's a whole system. That is a whole system. From phone calls to, putting them on a safe search to making sure that when they do come back, they're in opportunities tab. And so I can see when they're coming back and which listing they've viewed. And so my ISAs start dialing opportunities. And, they start, if they're requesting a showing appointment, it's a whole conversation we have. And it's a whole system that we have as well.
Is there some automation that you send out immediately I'll give you phone numbers, right?
Yes. So the automation that I have is setting them up in a save search plan and a smart plan. So why is it important to buy in this market? All different types of smart plans. But more than anything, I make sure they're on a saved search plan. So if they came in with 1 to 3 Main Street, max price point of 900, then we set them up on a one, in Fremont. Then I set them up. Then our ISAs or our admins set them up on a same category saved search plan, but with a price point of 800,000 or 850. So they can see that, okay, for 850, this is what I can get. And for 900, this is what I can get. Do I need to increase my budget? So yes, they are on a follow-up. More than anything, every 3 weeks, we follow up with that lead, 3 to 4 weeks.
All right. When they click on your buyer ad, are they getting an instant list of homes, or do you follow up and ask them for some more information to get them a more specific?
No, we just share. We just give them more, whatever they ask for, we give. We don't want to get more information from them. We want to come from contribution and we give.
Okay, so it's an automatic list that you have set up for them, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, unfortunately, where I am up here in Toronto, we can't really do that. So that's becoming a pain in the rear ends. I have to kind of try to narrow it down for you, and rather than get you thousands of listings, focus it in, customize it for you, give me some info so I could help you out, save you time. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Abby, go ahead.
Hi, Janki. Thank you for doing this. I actually have your course, been through it. Question: when your when your leads come in, where do they go? Do they go into your Chime, or do they go into where is your follow-up start?
Chime. They go straight into my Chime. There are times when I get the lead right here, when they're looking at any other properties, I get a text message. I send it out over to my director of ops. She's like, yep, what's already done, we're covered. You're too late to the party. So even the text message is a little bit too late because they're already on a saved plan. They're already on a smart plan, and the ISA is already called them.
Now, did Chime already have the automation set up, or did you do the automation?
No, we did the automation.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nicole, go ahead.
Hey, Janki, do you have I know you said you have a lot of buyers that come in. Do you focus on any seller leads? And if so, what is your process for those?
Oh, seller leads. We do have seller leads that come in, obviously, through StreetText, and we have them every now and then through LSA, which is Ylopo. We do have, and they are placed on same process, no different. We don't, try to do any special. What we do is put them on a saved, we set them up on a seller smart plan, right? And then our ISA follows up with a phone call saying, hey, I just wanted to make sure if you're thinking about getting the value of your home, I'd love to go ahead and send you a one-page CMA. And also, we'd love for you to talk to Janki about any updates you might have for your home. Or if we can't get them on the phone, we text them this information. So ISA's goal is always going to be to try to get that phone appointment. And if you don't get that phone appointment, what are the next steps? You try to text them, you try to send them a card, or you try to send them a CMA through email if they've provided that email. Also, I just got a text from Hubby Dearest. He said we zap them. So we use Zapier also. So there you go.
So I'm gonna let Lisa ask a question because I know her hand is raised. But let us know, what is the next steps for people who want to know more? Is the Janki course? Is it specifically? Are you creating something? There's the office hour we've been talking about, and I know you're even talking about specifically something where you would train people on how to train their VAs or find the right ISAs. Talk us through what's next for people who want to take this and do something with it.
That's a great segue into talking about why I want to do this, first of all, you guys. And I want to come from contribution. As much as I do the same concept with my clients, I want to do that for everyone out there in the real estate industry. I know it's been a struggle. I know I've had struggles. I want to be able to help where I can. Okay. And that's why I'm on all these different Facebook groups, and I'm a moderator everywhere on these Facebook groups, is I want to come from contribution. I want to try to help. So first thing, Marcus, is we were talking about office hours, one-on-one office hours. We can sit down and we can talk, in a group format, and we can, kind of talk a little bit more into detail about your particular business. Then there's also something that my director of ops and myself are coming up with, is an ISA course where we're possibly going to, there's some options we're thinking about. We'll take your ISA and we'll start training them. The thing is, if we do that, we want to make sure that you are 100% sure this is your ISA that you're going to be using, because again, you're going to pay for the resources of how we train them with the ISA course. And I would do the same thing that I'm doing with my ISA right now, with my ISA team, is sit down with them once a week or possibly every 2 weeks and start training them, doing the role plays, doing the affirmations, giving them that training that they need in order to be successful for you. That is what I see coming up, Marcus.
Awesome. And then your course as well, which I know you go in there and update every so often, hey?
I do as much as we can. We try. And like I said, I like to work on our business instead of in our business. So as much as I can do in regards to the ISA course, in regards to training the ISAs, in regards to office hours, we're trying to implement new things to help you guys, be successful, really.
Awesome. Lisa, and then Joe, I know you both have your hands raised, so go ahead.
Just Janki, so your media, your social media people and everything too, are they all as well from the Philippines? I mean, I used to have one as well, and they do work well. And trust me, if you don't have enough for them to do, they're like, hey, give me more.
Yeah.
But are all of them from there as well?
All of them are from one company, and I've trained them. I have taught them. Look, they come with a manual, but you got to adjust that manual to make it fit your needs and your wants as a business owner, because they can do everything you want them to do, but are they doing it? Are they meeting your level of your level of, the expertise where you want them to be, where you are expecting them to be, right? And again, like Leon said earlier, it all starts with a business plan. So work backwards.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other courses? So if someone wants to put Janki's course there in the chat feature, that'd be awesome.
Hi, Janki. First,
Hi, Joe.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? No kidding. I'm doing good. How are you?
It's been many, many moons.
Yes.
I just sent Ira a note about this, and I'm going to go against the grain here a little bit. Not so much against the grain, but I love StreetText. I do. I've generated an awful lot of leads from StreetText. There's no doubt about it. I am falling down, in all honesty, when it comes to follow-up. I don't know if it's I'm in my head. I've created a few, videos to go. The issue I have is completing the entire automation from start to finish, the 10 touches, the 8 touches, the 12 touches, whatever it is. I'm not the most imaginative guy in the world, and I'm not the greatest copywriter. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, over the phone or in video, woohoo.
Yeah.
But in writing, I'm like bland as bland can be. So what I'm wondering is, when you talk about your automations and things like that, did you and your team write those, or did you use the templates and just use that, or even hire a copywriter to say, hey, this is what I want my stuff to, the communication, the message I want to get across over these 9 or 10 reach outs?
Right. So to answer that question, Joe, I wrote some of these smart plans myself, right? You can write smart plans within Chime. And I forgot to tell you guys, I have hired a database manager. So now our database manager will be working with me to help me with Chime and the smart plans. So yes, I do write them. I do share what I want with my team, with my director of ops, and she's the one who takes it from there. And she used to be the one writing the smart plans in some cases. and creating the smart plans. But now that we have our database manager starting on Monday, which was yesterday, she is the one that is going to go ahead and do, everything of creating the smart plans, writing the smart plan message out. And then, of course, having some of the smart plan that are already there, putting it all together is what she will be doing going forward. So yes, we do come up with creative smart plan. And you know what it is, simply put, Joe? It's the scripts. It's the scripts. It's the scripts. A simple, hey, are you still in the market of looking for a home? Hey, I was just updating my information on my files and I was wondering, are you still in the market to buy a home? Very simple questions out there, right? Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't know about anybody else on this line, but I love making things harder than they need to be.
I think something to add on there, Joe, as well for Janki is, Janki, something I've noticed about you is you do not overthink anything when it comes to scripts or emails.
No.
When you were using, like when you started with StreetText, I remember Marcus was shocked. Nothing had been edited and you were getting appointments. And if you go through Janki's course and you see the scripts that she shares in the course, Janki has not overthought them. And I think that's part of the beauty of it, is its simplicity and process. And then here's something you can now delegate to your team, your ISA team, and then have them really focus on the activities and then coach them throughout that stuff. So really, sometimes we can get stuck in our own head. You said it perfectly, Joe. We start to overthink and overanalyze everything. Am I saying the right thing? Am I saying, Joe, you're a very likable person. I don't think you could say anything wrong. So Janki doesn't overthink it. So that's really key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Look, there's three things that when I have the phone conversation, when my ISA does a live transfer over to me, they'll tell me and they'll introduce me to the lead. They'll say, okay, I have Marcus on the line. He's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Fremont for 1.2 million. And take it away. And so I'll say, hi, Marcus, this is Janki. How are you today? So I see that you're in the market to buy a home. Tell me, first I ask them a question, right? I want them to feel the control, but at the same time, I take control back and say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to share with you market knowledge. I'm going to share with you how the market is doing, what the interest rates are doing, and where we're headed. I don't have a crystal ball, but I can kind of sort of gauge the market within the next 1 month. So would you like that information? Of course, who's going to say no to that, right? So again, you're coming from contribution.
I love it. And you also drive a lot of that with the disc profile, which you're very passionate about.
Yes. And if I feel that they're very quiet and submissive, I'm like, okay, now I just need to be quiet and talk to them in their tone. But if they're like me and Lisa and, we're like really out there and we're like, okay, come on, yeah, you're looking for a home. Let me help you. Blah, blah, blah. I have to go according to their tonality. And that's another thing that I teach our ISA is that, listen to their tonality, talk to them in that same tone. Just be confident in what you're talking about.
And that's a huge key on all follow-up. If you guys haven't mastered that, master exactly that. That's how people are like, oh, have I met you before? Have we talked before? You are going to seem so familiar to them if you just master that right there, following their tone, their speed, their tone, all of that. That's one thing. If you can master that, you're going to get more business.
Mirroring is golden.
Yes, mirror and match. And there's another thing is a lot of people will say, well, are you that same Janki on the radio show? Oh, yeah, that is. So you see, it's not only one thing, it's they're here. Once they register, they want to know more about me. So they'll go on Yelp, they'll go on Google, they'll go wherever they need to do some more research. And I tell them in our ISAs also, that's another tip we do. Another tip we share with them is that please take your time in getting to know Janki, getting to know read her Yelp reviews. And then, of course, we send out a 1-page introduction to them, telling them who I am, what kind of business I've done, where can they find more reviews about me, and if they need references from my past clients, we're more than happy to share. So that's the first email that goes out to them. So they know they're not just working with anyone, but they're working with someone who's got that experience.
Cool.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Janki. Any last minute questions before we let Janki go and get another StreetText deal closed?
Yes.
I have one question, Janki. Could you give us an example of your daily affirmation?
What you focus on expands, right? That's one that I said today. Another one is no pressure, no diamonds. I love my diamonds. If my hubby is listening, I love my diamonds. So I have my affirmations. There's one, there's no ifs, or there's one that I say there's no if. There's one affirmation that I love, which is if you say if there's no if which one is it? If there is more wants you want than you have a lack, it's lack against wants, right? So it's what you say and how you say it to the universe. So if you say I want or I lack, that's a negative tonality. So I always say I already have 50 transactions closed with StreetText. That is my affirmation. I am a lean, mean listing machine. That's another one. KW is right here. You know that one. And these are all bold laws, guys. I have bold laws patched everywhere over here. I have bold laws. Where do I have them? I have them right here in my front of my office. So as soon as I walk in, there's a bold law. So here's something else I have on my desk, right? These are the things that I look at every single day. There you go. I'm a magnet. Yes, I always say I'm a money magnet. I'm a magnet and one thing I always say, you guys, when I'm putting all my facial moisturizers on, I always look at myself and I say, I am going to get 3 listing agreements signed for full 5% commission for the month of September 2021. I put it out there, and guess what? It happens.
Love it.
I love that. I'm gonna write that on my bathroom mirror.
Yes. And another thing I do also is that I will be pending on 6 new transactions for the month of September 2021. Guess what? I did that in July and I went pending on 15 transactions. I only asked for 6, but I went up pending on 15, and I'm so grateful for that. So it's what you say, how you say, when you say.
Yeah. So this is really good. It's really important. It's, say it enough until you believe it. And what's really cool about action is that it follows our belief.
Yes.
And so think about it. Anything, you go to the car dealership, you start looking at cars, what happens? It doesn't take long. You're signing a piece of paper. Action follows where what we're looking at, what we're viewing, how we view the world. So if we're talking about things from the perspective of lack, what's going to happen is we're going to start seeing that everywhere.
Yeah.
If we're talking about from the perspective of abundance, gratitude, listen, we all have more than enough. We live in the most wealthy society in history. We have friends, families, careers. We wake up, we have food, we have pillows. I was reading a book and I was blown away thinking about how amazing, we have pillows, soft pillows. We all have more than enough. We literally have abundance. And so starting with that mindset of abundance, it immediately, your brain is something like, oh, there's opportunities, there's possibilities. I have I'm able to create something out of what I have. So it's very powerful stuff. Love it, Janki.
And this is my bold law that I have everywhere mirrored up, you guys. And I will definitely post this out for you guys if you want. But these are my bold laws that I live by, literally. And in each of my WhatsApp groups, I have them right there as the photo. And so what I'll do is if any of my ISAs are down and out, or they'll text me privately, I will send them that bold law sheet. And I said, okay, pick one with your eyes closed. And they'll pick one, they'll focus on it. They're humans too. They can't. Every time they get a rejection or a hang up, of course, it's going to be discouraging, right? We've been there. So again, it's teaching them how to change their mind up here and then to focus it on your business with that strong energy, that positive energy. And guess what? Things happen. So they will text me privately because my director of ops is a high A, and she'll be like, nope. You know what the heck? Come on, you can do this, but they'll come to me privately too. And they'll text me and they'll say, okay, I'm having a down day. And I'll tell them, take a walk. Go step away, because they need that. So it's how you talk to your ISAs also that matters. And that's, again, that ISA teaching course that I'm going to be doing.
Really focusing, I'm going to step away from a minute, but what I heard was that you really focus on buyer ads.
I do.
Ads are almost non-existent, but it makes sense in this day and age. People want to either upsize, downsize, There's no inventory, so you got to create it somehow.
Right. And that's what I learned very early, is to create the inventory. And if you guys see right at the back over here, it's saying grind, hustle, conquer, and then execute. And I share this every single day with my team, is what are you grinding for today? What are your big whys? You have to get into their mind to talk to them. What matters to them is important to you too. Again, they're only humans. They can only do so much. They might have a bad day. How do we help them become successful in what they're doing, so that success rolls over to your business, right? And that is so important, you guys. So that's another thing that I'll be teaching in my ISA training course.
I got two questions for you.
Yes.
So, running your numbers, and I was laughing, people look at this, think I need 3 buyer agents, this and that. You said you have only 1 buyer agent?
My daughter, yes.
Okay, and you're the only listing agent?
I'm the only listing agent.
Why do you have 2 social media people?
Okay, great question, because I want to increase our business through social media engagement, right? For me, it's so important to focus in on social media, because that's where the world is headed, right? That's where everyone goes, social media. You want to find something, social media. So how can you make yourself apart from other realtors in this area? How can you tear yourself apart from other realtors in this area? How do you, and what do you do? What do you say? Social media. If they see you often, guess what? They're going to connect with you. And that's on social media. Now, I did have 3 other agents that were under me, but my problem is, if they're not working at my level, my pace, I got to cut them off, because my business is faster than what my pace is. And so if you're not at my level in thinking, you're not in my mindset, the same mindset that I have about this business, and what this business means to me could mean something else to you. But if you don't have a big enough why, big, hairy, audacious goals, we're not going to connect. And so the only person so far that I see is my daughter.
Of course.
She's going to take over this business. So there you go. Eventually.
Massive. Yeah. Is everybody ready to 10X today?
Who's ready to 10X? Awesome. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So think about the one thing you're going to do taken away from this mastermind with Janki, from this mastermind. And Janki, we're looking forward to hearing about this office hour. We're looking forward to hearing about this ISA VA course.
Yep.
Of course, you already have the Janki Patel course that you can go and look at now. Maybe we'll throw in a little fun coupon code for anybody that attended today's mastermind.
Oh, dang, I just signed up for it. What?
What? It's the value. We'll see.
Hey, real quick, also for you to jump off, Janki, Ashley was asking the social media folks how you found them and what they're paid. And that's a really good question, because here's the reason I brought this up for the whole group. You know, I always say, if you're scared to be in front of the camera, it doesn't stop you from getting behind it. But in the meantime, you still need to be moving from 7. It said like 85% of agents not really utilizing social media and stuff like that to include videos. And yet we know that 95% plus of the people that start their searches, whether it's a buyer or seller, start there.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to getting out there, making that decision, getting somewhere. And the biggest takeaway from this for me is the fact I'm laughing with, you got this whole size staff and only 2 agents. Think about that.
Oh my God, Leon, you're the second or third person. I've been on a panel. This is the 3rd or 4th time in the past 1 week. They have said the same thing to me. Like, think about, oh yes, it was a leverage. If you guys look at the leverage mastermind, I was on that with David Kurtz, and he said the same thing. He said, wow, she has an awesome, team here, all admins, but only 2 buyers, 2 agents are running this whole show. Think about that. And so I didn't think it was a big deal, but now that you say it, it makes me realize, like, okay, is that a good thing, a bad thing? But for me, I think it's a great thing, because I am very much focused into our business, and the mindset that I bring into this bubble is going to be very important. Like I said, if they're not at my level, if they don't think like me, they don't act like me in a way of what is their big why, if that big why is not big enough for them, then it's not going to work, right?
Well, here's the other thing with this: people don't realize. We always say use your assets wisely. I tell people flat out, you've kind of pushed this whole thing through there. This is a business. You've been business oriented. That goes within goal oriented. But the one thing that really needs to be understood is when I get overflow, I call it referrals. You can refer stuff out if you get that overwhelmed, rather than let business get away.
Exactly.
But the infrastructure that you've put together on this has really reflected the fact that if you build the support team around you, the framework's in place, and a good one. And I laugh because everybody micromanages. And for you to start out saying before, you didn't want to let nothing go. You've actually, while you're still, I like to say, in charge, you have someone else running the show that frees you up to go take care of the big things to make what you want to have happen.
Exactly. Well said, Leon. See, I can't talk, but you can talk great. That's awesome. Well said. I mean, that is so true, Leon, because, you know, I want to know where my next appointment is. I have a 12:30 appointment. I need to know where I'm going. I need the PDF of the MLS, and all I need to do is meet the client there and do what I do best. I don't need to do call the listing agent to schedule the appointment. I don't need to go onto Calendly and schedule that. That's not my job. Does this client have a pre-approval? Is it in our do we have it in our hands, right? All of that has to be set, and only then I'm going to show the client properties. And of course, my daughter has taught me, you've got to get the agency disclosure. So it's a new wave. The new millennial thinkers are very much focused on, hey, if you're not serious about this, I'm not going to waste my time, which I love about her. And she teaches me, and you know, it works out great. So that's, if they don't have an agency disclosure, they don't have a pre-approval, they're not going to sit in, I'm not going to waste my time. Even if it's an hour or 30 minutes, I'm not going to waste my time because I could be doing something else.
We'll leave it at that. Janki, you've been awesome. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's 20 past the hour. I'm sure you got a lot going on.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate each one of you guys. You know, I'd love to help you guys grow your business as much as StreetText has helped me. So talk to me, tell me when you're ready. I will have office hours and the ISA courses ready for you guys shortly.
And we'll coordinate that together, Janki.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.